All right. What's up, guys? So we are live. Thank you for joining me today. I want to do, as I always do. How that sounds wonderful, guys. So welcome today. I wanted to do as I pretty much always do on Mondays. Is I come back here to look at the chart, and I want to show you guys a little bit what I'm looking at this week. So what things could happen, what things have happened in the past few days, and we had like these is pretty quiet. So I'm still waiting for some areas. We'll see and I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at right now in the market. But we didn't have much happening except for the US dollar recently, the Canadian dollar, sorry about that. So we'll go through every pair I follow, which is a couple of pairs. And this time I did look at the chart earlier this morning, so I know a little bit what I'm looking at. But I'll try to guide you as if I didn't know anything, as if I was basically looking at it for the first time. And we'll go through every step. If you guys have any question and you're watching this live on YouTube, let me know. You can comment, and I'll use the chat to look at the questions. Any question, I'm fine to answer them. And just want to remind one thing: every single Friday on Facebook and on YouTube too now, we do a Forex trading Q&A. So every Friday I jump in and answer questions. This is a little bit more spontaneous. I'm able to answer pretty much any question on Fridays. But if you guys have any question more technical today, let me know as well, and we'll focus on that. Good. So AUDGPY, we talked about that last week. And it's pretty simple. Pretty much the same thing happening. As I said, there's this 86 level that we're waiting for price to go to, which is slowly getting there. It might take a few days, maybe a few weeks, but we'll get there at one point. And this is really the area where we want to trade. In between, there's no much trade to do. Like people see this, for example, the pin bar that they call, and they might want to enter a trade, a sell trade. But the thing is, you're between two zones. Okay, so you really have no edge because price here is usually gonna go sideways. You're gonna get stepped out way too often, so that's why I don't trade there, and I wait for price to come back either here to the 81 level or the 86. And I want to remind one thing, that we are sideways. Okay, if you look on the weekly chart, we are sideways. Why? Because we've been going through the moving averages. And I'll just show you with a simple moving average. I'll remove the Bollinger Band. There we go. So we had this downward moving average. It's a simple 30 period moving average. Okay, simple one. Price has always been below. Now we broke above. So I'm considering this to be sideways now. And that means we want to play sideways trades. Okay, not trades for trend, not buying on pullbacks. We just want to be going sideways and selling at the top, buying at the bottom. Okay, that's the only thing we care about here. So let's go to the next pair. AUDNZD. Pretty much the same thing happening here, so I won't say much, but we are once again going fairly sideways. Okay, between the 107.5 and the 103. And you could think about the 1.13, which is pretty far, but anyway. So between those two levels, there's not much to do except to wait until price comes to one level, because here you don't have any edge. Yeah, selling here, buying here, it's really too unpredictable. So there's no reason to enter any trade for now. ADHD then, for this pair I was looking at something specific, and I'll show you what. We had this strong level, 0.75, which we've been above for quite a long time, okay? About 3 months, 4 months or so. And now we broke down below this level, 0.75. When we break out, or we break down in that case, what we want to be looking at is we're looking either for a retracement back to the specific level, or we're looking simply to sell on retracements, okay? And what's happening now is that we're coming back to the 0.75 level. I had this kind of box place, but the box goes more here. And so we had this, we're waiting for the retracement back to this level. Now this is strong. This is a strong level because we broke it. We had several touch in the past as a support. Broke it, it becomes a resistance. So right here, I'm looking for some evidence, of course, multi-time frame, but I'm looking to sell this market, not to buy. Simply because it's been broken out and this is a strong level. Okay, so I'm waiting for that, but I won't enter now because I don't have the evidence to sell. Okay, but I do want to show one thing, is that this big drop is pretty strong, pretty reliable to tell you that we're gonna keep going to the downside. But we do have to see some more evidence at the level. Okay. Some people might trade this blindly. They might sell at 0.75. Okay, that's how sometimes banks are doing it or institutions are doing it. But to me, I prefer to have some more evidence. Okay, so I prefer to have some more confirmation based on multi-time frame once again. So I'm waiting on that. CAD CHF, well, not much to say between two limits. And I knew people who wanted to sell here. Okay, that's like super clear. Last week, people saw this kind of top. They said, well, there's a downward trend line. Okay, let me sell at this level. But here's what happened, right? You get stopped out. Why? Well, because you're sideways. And because you're not waiting for price to be at a specific level. You're just trading between two limits, which are 0.725 and 0.77. You don't have any edge. You don't have any like confluence to trade at this level. Yes, I really want to make this clear that I would never take a trade between two limits like this. So that's pretty clear. So I'm waiting for price to go to this level once again. Euro GBP. This is an interesting one because we've been upward. So I call it, I want to talk about market phase 2 on that pair, which means an uptrend. And we are pretty much close to break the uptrend now. It was still in an uptrend, still fine, but we're close to finishing that uptrend because we're getting back to this low here. And usually in an uptrend, price make higher highs and higher lows. Now if we get back to the same low, it's a sign that the trend is really losing momentum. So I'll wait to see how price react at the 0.84 level, but we have to see how strong the uptrend is going to be. Okay, if we have some big evidence, we might start a sideways phase once again. Okay, we might be going sideways for a while because price doesn't seem to have a big strength to go upward. So I'm waiting for this level once again, 0.84, and I'll see how price reacted that level. Euro GPY, we've been breaking out of the pattern we talked about last week. This is the interesting part. We're coming back to retest the 118 level. Okay, the level that's been broken out. We're coming back to retest it. This is where you want to look for evidence. You're not when you're here and you see, oh, price is broken out, I'm buying. No, you want to wait sometimes for a pullback, and then you buy at that level. Yes, that's the right way to do it, and I would say the more reliable way to do it. And then you go possibly like I do. I would go on lower time frame to see, well, okay, I'm on a daily chart. How's the 4-hour chart going? How's the 1-hour chart going? Do you have any evidence that will go back up? Okay, and then I will see how price is moving at this level here. But I'm still waiting. It's still not at the level, so I have to keep waiting. Euro USD, pretty much the same thing. We're getting close to the level we talked about last week and maybe the week before, which is the 105 level. Okay, really a strong level where we had some mini touches in the past. And for the past couple of for the past year and almost 2 years, we didn't broke that level. Okay, we've been always above and we're coming back to retest it. What does that mean? Do we buy or sell? Well, we don't know. We might trade this as a breakout, especially on the weekly chart because it's a nice range. Or we might look for a reversal trade because we're at the range. And usually when we're sideways like this, we want to buy at the low, sell at the top. Yes, these are different ways you can do it. And I'll wait to see how this react. I'll definitely do more videos about this one because it's really interesting now. And I'll keep you updated. I'll keep you updated on that. Let me just see if we have any question here. No, sounds good. GBP CAD. Okay, we are in a downtrend. We've been coming back up here. And once again, this is kind of a downtrend losing momentum. See how these big drops were in the past? We had one consolidation here, second one here. Now we broke down, but we're coming back within the range. A sign that the bars are stepping in control a little bit more. We'll have to see how this react, but I'm really not interested to trade that pair for now. Why? Because the trade you could take is to buy here, because this is a strong level, 1.67, expecting price to go back up here, But right now, since it came back, broke above, came back down, so you don't have any evidence. And I was more bearish on that pair, so I'll wait to see what happens here, and I'll wait to see when a better pattern or better situation forms itself. And this is something I do. If something is not clear for you to trade, if you don't think that you understand what's happening, well, you might as well skip it and not try to understand. Because the more time you're gonna spend trying to understand how a chart is moving and what's happening, the more difficult it's gonna be, and the more confused you're gonna feel. You really have to focus on what you know, and not focus on what you don't know or what you want to try to know. Okay, focus on what you know and stick to it. Stick to your pattern. Stick to your plan as you know it. It's gonna be much more reliable and much easier for you to trade. GBP, GPY, pretty much the same thing here. I don't want to trade this for now because we are sideways. We broke down below, came back here. So we're going to be sideways and we don't have any clear range. Okay, we might, like we have one high. We have this strong level with two lows, 130. But apart from that, 138, which is not holding. So we'll have to, I'll have to skip it for this one for now. This one is a little bit better formed because we had touches at this point here, the 1.77. We had one touch, two touch, almost 3, 4 touches, and we're coming back to the same level. Okay, so this one is a little bit more interesting to trade, just visually, because I know a little bit more what's happening here. I might want to focus on this one, see how price moves, and see, well, of course, it's expecting price to go down. But I'll go on multi-time frame to see how price behaves on that pair. GBP/USD downtrend. Here's a little bit messy as always, as we've seen before. Okay, we have this move up here, which looks like a head and shoulders. We'll have to see, like on a lower time frame, of course. We'll have to see how that goes. But for now, I'm still waiting, as always, on that 1.28 level. 1.26, sorry. I'm still waiting to see what's gonna happen. Don't forget that if you're gonna trade head and shoulders, you have to wait for price to break the neckline, which will be that line right here. You see, you have to wait for a break. It's kind of a breakdown trade, but you do have to wait. So don't just jump into that without knowing it. You have to be willing to wait for the full pattern to unfold. And the decad, just go on the daily chart. This isn't an uptrend, but I feel once again like the uptrend's gonna maybe die a little bit. Because, well, we'll have to see how that day closes, but we had this engulfing candle expecting price to go higher, but we came back within, okay? We came back and we're not below the candlestick, so it's not necessarily valid as a sell signal, but we just came back down, not respecting the engulfing candle, and now we'll see what happens. But I expect the pair maybe to go possibly sideways because we had this low here, same low once again, and we didn't make new lows after, higher lows after. So I expect price to go maybe sideways a little bit, but the level I'm looking at is the 0.93 as always, like at this level right there, because this is the most reliable level around there. Okay, this level here is not a strong support, and this one neither. So it's really the 0.93. It's going to be more as a support, more reliable. Pretty much it. NZD/USD, I still have the trade open since it's been a while, like a really long time now. But I entered here. Sorry about that. Here on a Bollinger Band breakout, on a Bollinger Band reversal. Bollinger Band reversal trade. I placed a stop loss above, and now I think stop loss is at break even now. So I'm clean. I'm fine on this trade. I'm waiting for price to unfold, and I was kind of expecting this, that price would form the head and shoulders as we talked about. Okay, it broke below the neckline. It came back to test it, and now we'll see how strong it is. If we go downward, if we break the 0.70 level, which is pretty reliable, okay, in the past 6 months, pretty much. We'll see how that is reliable, and I still have it reopened, so but I did take some partial profit as well, so it makes it a lot better that way. S&P, there's not much to talk about. We broke above the highest high. We're waiting now for maybe a pullback or maybe something, but for now it's really at the top high, so you don't want to buy at this level, to me. USD CAD, I think I've been stepped out on this trade earlier this morning. So what I told you about is that I think I've taken that trade on a lower time frame last week. I think it was the 1 hour chart. There you go, 1 hour chart. I think so. And following that, we've seen price move a lot higher. Okay, we had pretty much. I'll just try to draw that for my own information. But I think we've had a good 2 or 3 to 1 of reward to risk on that. Yeah, see 3.0 almost. Okay, well even more than 3. So that's good. I did not profit from the whole move because I had my take profit higher, but I took some partial profit along the way. So I think I have 1/3 of the position closed or 1/2, which is pretty good. Which is pretty good for a trade like this. And I took profit because it's a multi-time frame trade, and I always take profit partially because of that. But now stop loss, I moved it to break even, and I'm probably getting stopped out. Probably it's been stopped out already. So it's gonna be a good trade because I do have some profit. I don't lose much with that, and that's pretty much it for USD CAD. Still waiting to see how that level is gonna react. It's 1.34. We'll see how strong it is, if it holds or not. And but I expect the level to be pretty strong, unless we have some news or something. USDGPY, pretty much an uptrend now, phase 2. And I'm looking for pullbacks on this pair. So we didn't have much for now. I'll wait to see what other pullback we can have on USDGPY. Yeah, so you see the arrow here is pretty much the same thing I'm looking for. Move down with a strong, maybe Bollinger Band break here. You can look at multi-time frame and then an up move. I'm waiting for that, but it's gonna take a while possibly. Singapore dollar, which I kind of like to trade sometimes. I'm waiting for this this level here, 1.44. Yeah, which is a strong level on the weekly chart. It's been really the high for a long time, a really long time. So I'm waiting for price to come to that level and see how price reacts. Yeah, I don't have any interest to trade within those two levels because there's no resistance or support between those two levels. Okay, so there's no reason for me to trade here. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. And gold is going like sideways. We broke out this level which we talked about last week. I did not sell because I don't have a setup to sell on this breakout, but I'll wait to see how price behaves. If we're gonna come back above, or if we're gonna just go downward and have a retracement. I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen here. And this level was pretty strong, pretty reliable. It's interesting that we broke it pretty much straight, okay, without any sideways market or without any consolidation. So we'll look what happens. But don't forget that we can always break this level and then come back within. Okay, so we have to be careful of that. So guys, that's pretty much it for this Q&A. I'll just take a look if you have any question. No question now. It sounds good. If you guys have any question, let me know. Check out the Facebook group at thisartistway.com/group. I'll do my best to answer your question there. Connect with you if you have any question, any feedback. Send me a message there. thisartistway.com/group. And I'll see you pretty soon. Ciao.